Station. CD and digital album available now.
Vistaprint.com.
July 2008, 400 miles off the coast of New Zealand, video caught from a camera behind the bar of the Pacific Sun shows passengers and crew literally swept off their feet at the mercy of the ocean swells. Anything not bolted down flies across the deck, including the passengers. As the ship tumbles in the sea, watch as the video shows one woman slamming into a column, and just as she's getting some help, she and the others are sent sliding out of view. And on this 680-foot ship called the Louis Majesty, a rogue wave smashes through the window on a voyage from Spain to Italy in March of 2010, sending disoriented passengers scrambling through water. 2 people are killed. Another video from a helicopter shows an enormous ship tossed around in the ocean like a child's toy. You might imagine how things could go wrong in rough seas, but what if a ship is sailing on calm waters? Less than 5 years before the Costa Concordia disaster, an eerily similar situation unfolds. While sailing through the Greek islands, another ship runs aground when it collides with a reef and forces a hasty evacuation for hundreds of scared passengers.
Fear was just tremendous from her perspective.
Fleeing for safety before their ship sinks to the bottom of the sea. This promotional video for the Louis Hellenic Cruise Lines shows one of their ships called the Sea Diamond sailing smoothly through brilliant blue waters. Its 10 decks hold nearly 1,600 people, which include Jan Eastes and her daughter Alex. Their cruise takes them to the pristine coast of Santorini, Greece, on a relatively calm and sunny day.
Well, you can see it's a beautiful day in Santorini, and we were all excited.
Jan Eastes is chaperoning her daughter's high school trip on what so far has been a fantastic experience. But on April 6, 2007, their 4th day, Alex doesn't have a good feeling.
We looked really close to the bottom of the harbor, and I pointed it out to someone, we laughed about it, and as we started walking out the room, we felt the crash.
We quickly met, and as we were standing there, we saw a lot of people come up, and they were dripping wet. They had actually come up from the 2nd floor, and the pool had just, kind of erupted with water.
While waiting for the students, Jan realizes something is wrong and starts recording on her new video camera. Turns out, the Sea Diamond has gotten too close to shore and has rammed into the rocks, shearing a hole in its side. Within half an hour, helicopters and local boats respond to the ship's distress call.
We were close enough that a lot of boats came to our rescue, but there was no way that you would just jump off that cruise ship and swim to shore. It was just too treacherous of a situation from that spot. At that point, we were probably listing 30, 40 degrees.
We had to balance, because at this point, I don't know, we were kind of like this, and this was upright for us.
Passengers are ordered to get into groups by gender and age.
They actually said this over the intercom, we're going to be evacuating. It was an actual scene out of the Titanic movie. It was women and children will be evacuated first. But, we had the boys in our group. They, along with the male chaperones, separated from us. And by that point, it was really getting chaotic.
While Alex stays calm, people all around her are losing control.
My sister was hysterical. My best friend was hysterical. Most of the other students were hysterical.
A lot of chaos, a lot of fear, a lot of panic, and you saw people fight for things. And I was getting kind of the last life jacket for our group, which happened to be Alex's, and there was a man behind us who probably was around 70 years old, grabbed it out of her hand.
Alex finds another life jacket, and as the evacuation is underway, Passengers are told they have to traverse down a rope ladder.
We had to climb down 3 or 4 stories. They told us not to look down, but of course once they tell you not to look down, you look down. So as soon as you look down, you kind of freeze for a couple seconds.
Some people, like this woman, seem almost paralyzed with fear.
It was heartbreaking to watch this woman, and she was terrified and very unstable. It took about 2 or 3 of the crewmen to actually help her down.
But after several hours, most are safely on shore.
We were like one of the first boats that got off, and it was probably 2-3 hours after that that the rest of our group got off. They were the very last boat.
The classmates and their chaperones reunite on land.
We were watching as the boat was sinking. In the beginning, when we first got off, we saw it move all over the harbor because all the currents were dragging it all over the place.
By the time we were able to get on the rescue boat back to Athens, it was probably around 4 or 5 in the morning. And at that point, our ship was completely on its side, and it was going down.
The ship lies crippled in the night, only hours from plunging to its final resting place.
The next morning when we got to Athens, we saw the rest of it sink on TV. We saw the whole thing.
A father and his daughter from France are reported missing and are never found.
People were tired, emotions were running high, and it was a long night.
A long night and a long couple of days ahead, since almost all of their personal belongings, including their passports, are at the bottom of the sea.
We realized we had absolutely no clothes, and we couldn't find any place to buy clothes because it was Easter weekend.
Eventually, the cruise line reimburses passengers for their lost items and gives them a voucher for a free cruise that Jan has never used.
We bought our boat a few months before we went on this cruise ship, and the first thing my husband asked me when we got home was, does this mean I have to sell the boat? And no, we're still in the water, but I haven't gone on a cruise ship since.